This conference will now be recorded.
And I'm sharing my screen actually. Once it is visible, please confirm me. I can proceed further.
Yeah, we are able to see.
See, right? Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Fine. Yeah. See, Baji, shall I start or waiting for someone else also? Actually, like I think we don't want to, even I don't want to make the people who are attending to wait exactly. Baji, shall I start the session?
Yeah, Mahesh, you can proceed.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Yeah, and firstly, I'm extremely sorry for the morning thing which happened actually. Okay. Suddenly there was I think the internet cut actually. There was a wire cut, it seems exactly, and I tried to connect with the mobile internet. It didn't happen properly. Firstly, very sorry for that. Okay. Anyway, thanks for joining even at 8 o'clock exactly. Okay. Fine. Firstly, we'll start with what is the agenda for today, basically, like what are the things we are going to learn in today's class, basically. Okay. See, firstly, like before proceeding, like what is Mulesoft and already like what we do with Mulesoft and all, obviously, as you are know a little bit about it. Before going into depth of Mulesoft, it's better we'll learn some basics and then go there, basically. Okay, because of that reason, all these are discussed over here. Okay, it seems to be theoretical, but very important. Without understanding these, like it is similar to building constructing a building actually without the foundation. That's the reason. Obviously, we have to go for all these basics exactly. And when you go to the real-time environment, also you feel like you know at least some 50 to 60% of the topics what people are talking about, basically. Okay, that is the reason we'll be discussing these topics. Like, see, first topic is like what are APIs, what are web services, and what are the different types of the web services or APIs, basically. Or actually, like why we are discussing this particular concept, because mostly we design APIs with the help of design, develop, deploy, monitor everything with the help of Mulesoft, basically. That is the reason. Before developing or designing an API, if we know what is API, what is a web service, and why it is useful, all those things, that would be better. That is the reason this topic is under consideration, basically. Okay, what are APIs, what are web services, and what are the different types of it, and what is mostly used, that all will be discussed here. Okay, and next topic is what is an API life cycle. It is similar to software development life cycle. Actually, similarly for an API, we have a life cycle. What is that life cycle and what we do in that exactly, and what are all the components of Mulesoft which are helpful for us to maintain the whole API life cycle. Okay, all these will be discussed under the topic of API life cycle. And coming to next topic, this is also one of the most important topics where nobody will discuss exactly. Okay, this will be I think easy or familiar for the people who are already worked in the real-time environment, basically, but take it as a like a brush up session for you, basically. If there are some points you people also can add, mostly I will discuss all the different environments we use in real time, basically. Okay, normally what we do while practicing and all, we use only one environment, like maybe the sandbox environment or the design and develop environment, basically. Or even while practicing also in Mulesoft, you will be having only those two kind of environments. But when it comes to the real time, there are so many different kinds of environment, 5 to 6 different kinds of environment, and each environment is for a specific purpose. Okay, that we will discuss in detail exactly. This is also very crucial. Okay, all these are fundamentals. These fundamentals make you a stronger person, basically, in terms of the API development. Okay, that's the reason we consider these topics are very important, and they are very basic. And if you already know any of these topics or all these topics, please bear with me. because there are so many other students who are from non-IT background and from a different IT background. Okay, that is the reason I'll be discussing from basics. Okay, if you know also, it will be a brush up kind of thing for you basically. Okay, let's start the session. Already we are recording it, right? Yeah, thank you. Fine. Then coming to what are APIs and what are web services. If any of you know, actually, like in a simple one-word answer or like one sentence answer also, please tell me if you know about that. What are APIs and what are web services basically? I have already written the answer over here. Don't see the answer and then tell me without seeing that. Anyone? Okay, shall I proceed? Okay, fine. I think mostly I think nobody knows the answer maybe. Okay, let's see. See, we have a concept called APIs. And we have a concept called web services. Basically, both are almost similar. It's not like there is a thin line of difference. That thin line of difference also I'll explain you. Don't worry about it. Okay. Don't worry about that thin line of difference. If you don't understand that thin line of difference also, there is no worry. Nobody is going to tell something about you, but at least we should know what is an API and what is a web service. Basically, APIs come first. I will take this First, you will see the definition, and then we'll go for a generic example, and then it will understand it in technical manner also, basically. Okay, fine. Now, I have written a clear definition here. APIs are services used to establish communication between two different systems. Exactly. Already I told you, Mulesoft is an integration tool which is helpful to integrate two different or more different types of systems. Exactly. Okay. Mulesoft is a facilitator, but we should develop an API actually to establish that communication. Okay, that is the reason APIs are services used to establish communication between two different systems or two or more different systems. Exactly. Okay, web services are also services used to establish connection between two different systems or a network. Exactly. Okay, without network, with network, APIs, we can call them APIs. If it is over a network specially, then it is called a web service. Okay, this is the definition technically. Okay, let's dive into the example and understand the actual meaning inside that particular terminology basically. Okay, API stands for obviously application programming interface. That is one thing which we have to know basically. Application programming interface. Okay, now I'll come to the example. Okay, there is one person, one of us basically has two different bank accounts. Okay, two bank accounts. One is from ICICI and another is from HDFC. Okay, and ICICI banking application is developed on .NET, for example. Okay, we are not sure about it, but take it as an example exactly. And HDFC is developed in Java. Okay, now why I have taken this example, because I told you two different systems, right? But there will be more number of systems, but for easy understanding, we are taking only two different systems. Okay, one person has two different bank accounts, one with ICICI and one with HDFC. Okay, now what he has done is like he has taken his ICICI ATM card. Okay, went to ICICI ATM. Okay, and then he entered his credentials. Like credentials means his PIN. Okay, he entered his maybe like sometimes we'll have username and password for logging into website and all. Basically similar manner, obviously we have to enter the PIN to withdraw all the money. Basically he has chosen out of all the services to withdraw the money. Actually after that he entered 5,000. What happens in the background exactly? This is the thing which we come to know exactly till this point. You clicked on 5,000. That is the point where you're sending a request to the ICICI application. Basically, it will check for the balance first. whether your account has minimum sufficient balance of 5,000 or not. That is the first check that ICICI banking application will do this first one. And immediately, if balance is available, then the second service will come. What it will do, it will disburse the money. And there is another thing which has to happen. What is that? 5,000 has to be deducted from your account also. This is the entire process which happens, which is smooth and it is normal. There is no error response, nothing basically. Consider everything is successful. Okay, this in this scenario. Okay, now this is we have to think two things here basically. You are sending you went to ICICI ATM and you have chosen the withdrawal option and then entered you wanted to withdraw 5,000 rupees. It means that you are sending a request of withdrawal for 5,000 rupees to the ICICI application. Internally, what it does, it will run these two services, account balance or and balance is available or not, and disbursing and deducting. All these will happen in the back end, and automatically the money will come from the opening, which is with the ATM basically. Okay, this is the thing which happens. Keep this in mind. Next, I will go to HDFC Bank. Okay, I thought amount is there 5,000, but unfortunately I entered 5,000 withdrawal and immediately it checked the balance and it says the balance unavailable. Balance is not sufficient basically. Okay, maybe you have only 1,000 rupees in the bank account and this is the option. Now what is it returning? No sufficient balance. Okay, these are the two scenarios. One is a successful scenario, one is the a scenario which it is not successful, but still it is telling you like you don't have the sufficient balance to into. Now what you will do, you will try to decrease the amount, maybe like 4,000 and I try again, or otherwise you have another option called check balance. You check the balance. Okay, you came to know like that I have only 1,200, then you will try to withdraw 1,200 or less than 1,200 basically. That happens basically. Okay, this is the second example. Okay, we went to HDFC ATM and then you entered and it told like sufficient is not sufficient balance is not available in your bank account. Go for a lower amount basically. Okay, fine, done. See what is happening here. HDFC ATM is talking to HDFC banking application. There is no problem at all because they are on the same technology stack basically, because they wanted to be in the same technology stack and they wanted to develop like that. And if you see ICICI ATM speaking with the ICICI bank application, there is no problem at all. Okay, they are on the same technology stack. We are assuming all these things. They may be on different stacks also, but still think that ICICI bank ATM and the backend application are on the same stack, and there is no worry. They can easily communicate and they will establish the communication and they do everything. Okay, this is the thing. And HDFC also similar case. Now I have a third case. What is the third case? I took the ICICI bank card actually and went to HDFC ATM. Okay, I already told you ICICI banking application is based on .NET and HDFC application is based on Java. Now what are we doing? We are taking ICICI ATM card and we are going to HDFC ATM. Now what happens? As soon as HDFC ATM what to say receives the, you insert the card inside that ATM machine, what happens? HDFC senses, oh, this is not HDFC ATM card. Okay, it is from ICICI. Now what happens? It will send a request to ICICI banking application. Okay, it sends a request to ICICI banking application. But if this is in .NET, okay, sorry, what is this? HDFC is in Java actually. HDFC request is in Java and ICICI app is in obviously we told like .NET. Obviously it will not understand. Okay, it is sending a request and obviously it will tell I didn't understand and it will reject the request and it will reject the response basically, and it will send a rejected response. For that reason, now what happens? We develop exactly like what ICICI bank application will do. Actually, they will expose an API. or a web service actually for HDFC application to interact with ICICI banking application and see the customer ICICI bank customers experience to happen in the HDFC ATM. Basically, what happens now, if this web service is there, that request will be understood by ICICI bank's application, and it will tell first bank account balance is there or not, 500 or 5,000 for example. Yes, it is available. Then immediately it will ask the HDFC application to disburse the 5,000 amount basically, and automatically it will deduct the balance at the ICICI banking also. Okay, this communication facilitation, the exchange of data will happen through web services or API. If it happens through a network, that is called web service. If it happens without network, then it is called API. All web services are called APIs, but all APIs are not web services. Keep this point in mind exactly. If you understand it, that's fine. If you don't understand it, mug it up and keep it in your mind. Okay, all APIs are not web services, but all web services are APIs. Exactly. Okay, now this facilitation for exchanging the data between HDFC ATM and banking ICICI banking application is facilitated with the help of APIs. Exactly. Okay, for that APIs to be developed, Mulesoft is the tool which will facilitate that. Exactly. Okay, now I will go to another example. Like I have taken now HDFC bank card and went into the ICICI ATM. Okay, now what happens again, ICICI ATM mission will send a request to the HDFC banking application saying that your customer has come and he is trying to withdraw 5,000 rupees. Obviously, again, this is in another language and this is in another language, they won't understand. Now, HDFC banking application will expose their account balance service as well as the dispersal service as an API basically. Now, what happens is ICICI ATM will check that two services, consume those two services with the help of this, obviously, this web service and API. And what happens, he can withdraw the 5,000 money and go off. Exactly. Okay, for example, if this facility is not there, what happens, ICICI bank customer has to go only to ICICI bank ATM, okay, and then withdraw the money, which is very ridiculous. Exactly. Okay, because of that reason, obviously the integration platforms have become very popular. Okay, that is the single reason APIs are very important for running any business. Exactly. For example, like if you tell ICICI banking customer has to go only ICICI ATM to withdraw money, obviously they lose lot of money, because the other competitors immediately, SDFC, other people, they tell that no, you use our ATM, you can go anywhere and you can withdraw the money. Obviously the facilities provided by the other banks are more than the existing bank. Because of that reason, obviously you tend to move to the other banks. Exactly. And they lose the business, which will eventually affect their profits, which is a very bad thing for any company. That is the reason, obviously, for running their business operations or for running their businesses in a profitable manner, they require different applications to be integrated, and that is where our integration tool Mulesoft is playing a vital role in it. Exactly. Okay, why I took this example, basically it is very easy to understand, and everyone has an ATM card and they know the process. That is the reason everyone will understand. I have taken this example. Okay, please stop me if you're having any questions here. Any questions? Are you able to understand this, or shall I explain once again? If you say yes, I'll move ahead. Or if you have doubts, you people can ask me. Any questions, please? Naveen, Sairam, Abhinash, Srikanth. Okay, I will take it as granted, like you people understood the concept, and I'll move ahead. Okay, that's fine, right? Yes. Okay. Now, see, I told you like what are APIs and what are a web service. There is a very thin line of difference between the web services and APIs. Don't worry about that particular part, basically. But in a broad manner, think that APIs or web services are developed to establish communication between two different or more different systems to exchange the data, basically. That you'll understand later. but at least mug up this sentence and keep it in your mind. If someone asks, you have to answer like that. Okay, fine. The next question is, what are the different types of services, web services or the APIs basically? We have REST and SOAP. These are the two broadly. There may be different services also, but still exactly these are the two popular ones which are being followed. And among these also, REST is the most popular one. 95 to 98% of the time we will be developing RESTful APIs basically. Very rarely we use SOAP service. Okay, but why will be mostly 80 to 90% of the time we'll be focusing on REST APIs only. Okay, what is a REST API and what is a SOAP API, and what are the differences, why REST is more popular, all these we'll be discussing it now. Okay, in the coming time right now. Okay, fine. Coming to what is a REST service basically. See, the same API, how to implement that exactly. Okay, some great people have come to a conclusion and they have written some principles and standards and the best practices, whatever you call, you can call anything. Like if you write, if you design or if you develop the API this way, or you follow the REST standards, and if you do that exactly, that is called as REST API. Okay, we'll see what are the principles we have to follow, what are the best practices we follow, and all those things we'll be discussing. Then obviously we'll understand what is a REST service or REST API basically. Okay, see, REST stands for representational state transfer. Representational state transfer. This is the full meaning of it, full abbreviation of it. Representational state transfer. And what is the protocol it follows? It follows a HTTP protocol. Okay, what is this protocol, what all these, you don't go into the depth of it. If you have real interest in it, go to the depth of it, understand it, that's fine. If you don't know all these things also, nothing to worry. But why we are telling you to just what to say, like use yourself for the language we use basically. If you do, for example, like I'm not for example, like there are so many terminologies you have to use, but you don't know the understanding of exactly that. That is fine, but sure, but you have to use them. That is the reason this terminology is very important in day-to-day life. Different people or different peer group people come and talk to you, and if you are unfamiliar with those terminologies, it is difficult to understand. That is the reason. Okay, we have to know all these things exactly. Okay, REST follows a HTTP protocol to send the data exactly. Okay, to exchange send the data or to receive the data, it uses a HTTP protocol. And it comes to what are the data format it accepts exactly. Okay, I told you already, API is a service which is useful to establish communication between two different systems for the exchange of data. But data in which format exactly? That is JSON, XML, HTML, text. All these will be accepted by the REST API basically. Okay, just don't think about what are all like the JSON, XML, HTML, text already you'll be knowing it basically. This is a text basically. Okay, text format. If whatever I'm writing here, this is a text format. The same way we have JSON, we have XML, we have HTML. All these will be accepted as inputs for the REST API. Don't worry about that, and it can send the response also in all these data formats. Just keep this in mind. That's it. You'll understand in the coming sessions and all. Once you attend 10 to 12 sessions, automatically you will be familiar with all these terminologies and you'll easily understand. There is no problem at all. Okay, right. Now, in any kind of thing, exactly, I told you like REST service, it is a architecture which is specified by some great people, and if you follow the same principles, it is known as a REST service. And there is another concept called SOAP service. What is that? We'll learn in the next step exactly. But here, before going to that, we'll see what is designing of REST service, what are the things which are useful for that, and why should we design a REST service basically. Okay, I will tell you one example exactly. Before, for example, like some client has given you a requirement. Okay, you try to give the sum of two numbers I provide any two numbers, it has to add two numbers and give the response. Okay, for this also what they will do, first they will try to discuss the requirement, document that, okay, and they design the document, and again they implement the code. Okay, there are certain steps involved in doing a particular task in the software industry or the IT industry or any industry, but here we follow a different approach here. First what we will do, we will design something, and then we will try to implement that, and we will test it. This way there are certain steps involved in the process. Exactly, the first step is like for the REST service API to be developed, designing the REST service. What we will use RAML. What is RAML? RESTful API modeling language. In Mulesoft, I told you already, there are two different languages which we have to learn to be successful as a Mulesoft developer. Exactly. Okay. What is that? The first language is RAML, RESTful API modeling language. Don't think it as a programming language. It is a modeling language. What is the difference between a programming language and a modeling language? See, modeling language is just like a keyword based kind of thing. Okay, it will be simple in English format. Okay, as soon as you see the keyword, you will understand that for this purpose we are using this particular keyword. Example, for example, like you wanted to include an example of the request, you'll type a keyword of example. For including that, you will use the keyword of include. Obviously, you will understand very easily that, okay, for this I'm using this. That way you will design your RAML. Okay, you design your RESTful service with the help of RAML. RAML is a third-party organization. It is integrated in Mulesoft itself. Okay, there is a module called Design Center. There it is already integrated. Mostly 99% of the time we will use RAML for designing the RESTful APIs. There are so many other languages also, like we have different languages like Java, .NET, Python, C++, C, like this. There are so many other RESTful API modeling languages also, but still this is becoming more famous and popular across the world right now, and even Mulesoft has chosen this particular language. What are the other languages? There is a OAS, Swagger, all these will be used for writing the for designing the REST APIs. But don't if you don't know also, nobody will tell anything. If you know RAML, that's more than enough for that. And in our sessions, what we will do, we will start the RAML from scratch, and then you will be writing the complex RAMLs also. If you thoroughly follow our sessions exactly, you will be able to write the complex RAML related design API specifications. Exactly. Okay, and coming to what does that RAML contains exactly? See, for obviously, like I told you, like RAML will be containing what is the request, what is the response, what are the error details, what are the examples of it, what are the security schemes we are applying for it, and what is the resource details, and all those will be in the RAML basically. Okay, if you don't understand also, but go through the session once again, this terminology has to go into your mind. That is the main motto of this session basically. Okay, if you understand it the first time itself, that's very fine. If you don't understand, try to go and see the session for the second time and just mug those concepts and keep it in your mind basically. Okay, RAML stands for RESTful API modeling language, which consists of resource details. Request means what? I told you, like HDFC ATM is sending a request to ICICI Bank, or HDFC ATM is sending it to HDFC application itself. That request details will be there. And response, obviously the application is responding back saying that disburse the amount and I am deducting it. That is the response. All those details will be available in the RAML document which we write basically. Okay, we will take care of you will be able to, if you follow the sessions, you will be able to write from the scratch to the complex level. Okay, this is called RESTful API service. Okay, and 99% of the time, or 98 to 99% of the time, we will be designing RESTful APIs only. Okay, fine. Next, SOAP service. Before REST, actually, this is the most important and web service which is followed by the most of the industry. SOAP web service. What is SOAP web service? Basically, simple object access protocol. Okay, it is the full form of it. And SOAP follows XML based protocol, and it accepts only XML as the input and gives the XML as the response. Okay, but REST, if you see, it can accept multiple data formats and it gives the response in the multiple formats also, which will be more useful, obviously, the REST. Okay, and here for designing what we are using RAML, but here we have to use WSDL, WSDL. What is the full form of WSDL? Web Service Description Language. Again, what it consists of? It will consist of resource details, request, response, error details, examples, security, similar to RAML only, but it will be implemented in XML. That is see, for example, like for addition of two numbers, you write a Java program, you write a C++ program, you write a .NET program. The response is finally 1 + 2 = 3 only. But the way you implement, the keywords you use, all will be different. There's a similar manner. WSDL and RAML will be different. Okay, but mostly we have to focus on this. Now, coming to the next. Any doubts till now? Any doubts? Okay, fine. Yeah.
No doubts.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, coming to the why we have to go for REST when compared to the SOAP, actually, because REST is easy to use, easy to learn and understand, and it is lightweight over a SOAP. Because actually lightweight means you'll understand. I'll show you in the further sessions exactly why REST is lightweight over SOAP exactly. We'll understand that also in depth exactly. But still, because of these 3 to 4 different reasons, REST is more popular and widely used in the industry right now. Okay, if someone asks why you have to use REST over SOAP exactly, we can tell these reasons. It is easy to use, it is easy to learn, it is easy to understand. Okay, and it is a lightweight over SOAP exactly. Okay, now we came to know that like with the help of Mulesoft, we have to design RESTful APIs most probably, and there are scenarios like we have to consume the RESTful APIs, actually consume the SOAP services. For example, like some website has already exposed their API in SOAP exactly. We should know that consuming that SOAP web service, we have to again send a response exactly. That also we'll be discussing in the sessions. Don't worry about that and all. Practically whatever you're going to face in your real-time world, we will be taking over all those as the concept, and we'll explain, and then we'll implement them also in the sessions exactly. Okay, next. Now what we have seen, we understood like what are APIs, what are web services, and what are the different kinds of APIs we have, like REST APIs and SOAP APIs, and what are REST APIs, what are SOAP APIs, and what is the difference between them, and then which is more popular and why is it more popular. We understood that till now exactly. Okay, now coming to the next session, I told you this is one of the most important topic. Like you may face so many interview questions also over here exactly as per my experience. And one more thing is like without knowing this, if you go again, as I told you, without the fundamentals, again it's too difficult to crack your interviews like with half mind and all exactly. That is the reason this is one of the most critical topics and important topics exactly. But I'll go for a generic example of a home construction or a house construction exactly before proceeding with the technical example. Okay, for example, like we want to construct a building. What we do generally, first we go to an architect. Okay, we'll discuss all our requirements, like what are the requirements, what is the plot size, and what is the budget you have, and how many floors you want. All these things you will be putting in front of an architect exactly. And what architect will do, he will write down all the requirements, he document them, and then based on your requirements, he will design a plan based on the site availability and based on the norms of that particular city in which area you are constructing the building. All these will be kept in mind, and he will design a plan basically. First step is the thing. And You also again discuss multiple times. You tell them, sir, I don't want bedroom here. Bedroom has to be somewhere else as per Vastu. All this you discuss with him and then change the plan and freeze the plan actually. Finally, you told that, sir, I'm satisfied with your plan and let's start the construction. Now, what we will do, we'll keep an engineer and we'll hire some workers and then start constructing the building. This is the second phase. Okay. In the meantime, we will ask one quality engineer to come, okay, or the owner of the building to check in between whether they're doing it in the perfect manner or not, as per the specifications they're going, as per the plan they're going or not, and whether the materials, whatever we are giving, they're using the same materials or they're using an inferior quality materials. Everything we'll be checking in between exactly. That is obviously known as quality assurance exactly. Okay, next. You have finished the construction of building and you did puja and you shifted your place to there exactly. Now you have to secure your house, right? Obviously, for that, obviously, if you're very rich, obviously you go for a watchman, or if you're if you're aware of what to say, like if you are you like dogs and all, obviously you may keep a dog exactly. Or there are some other things also, like maybe you keep a gate outside and keep it maybe solar fencing or the electric fencing. There are different measures or different steps you can follow for making your house secured basically. Okay, these are all the three to four different steps. If you check out, maybe if you deep down to the next levels also, there may be sub steps. You're getting so many sub steps exactly, but broadly these are the 3 to 4 different steps what we are getting into exactly. Okay, now this is the generic example. The same way for implementing anything in the IT industry, we have a certain procedure exactly. But coming to APIs, again, there is a more refined model. That model is known as exactly this particular model, what we are going to discuss, like design, implementation, secure, test, deploy, monitor. All these are general words. All these are general words. I will explain in the general way only. Don't worry about that. And all these steps have to be followed while developing or while designing an API or the developing an API. Without these steps, it will not be complete exactly. Okay, that is the reason I told you, like it is known as API life cycle. Why I told API life cycle? It is from the start of the journey of that API. It is till the end of it. Obviously, there is no end of it. It is a circle basically. But still, obviously, it is a repeated thing exactly. That is the reason we told it as an API life cycle. Okay, what are the steps in API life cycle? Example, like your client or some company you're working for, that company told, like you're working with ICICI Bank and the banking business people have told you and your technical team to develop an API to, if someone hits an account balance, for example, like you have a ICICI banking app, you go inside the banking app and you hit what, for example, to check your balance, check balance. If you hit the check balance, automatically what happens, this app will send a request to the API developed by you, this account balance API, and then it will take the balance from the database of that ICICI bank and then send it as a response to the application wherever you are using. Then it will comes like, sir, your balance is 1,25,000 or 1 lakh rupees or 10,000 rupees. If you hit multiple times, it will show the balance at that point of time after the transactions, whatever you have done before basically. Okay, this is one example exactly, like, okay, now what we have to do for this, we have to follow the entire life cycle for doing this exactly. Okay, now let's forget about this example and go what are all the steps inside that particular API life cycle. First step is design. As I told you, you go to the architect, discuss the requirements, and then go to finalize the plan, right? The same way, first step in API is designing the API. What is that known as technically? Design API specification using GRAML in Design Center. What is that? Design API specification. API specification means like, what is the request, what is the response, what is the type of request you receive, what is the response, type of response you have to send, and can you please provide the example of the request, example of the response, what are the, Okay, I told you like one scenario is the success response. There are hundreds of scenarios or tens of scenarios for the error response, right? What are the different kinds of error responses in different times of times exactly? For example, like sufficient balance is there. What is the type of response I have to send? And for example, like if it is stuck in between, what is the response I have to send? All these will be discussed over the document. Okay, once we receive that document, we will write the raml in design center. There is a platform called design center in Mulesoft itself. Okay, I'll show you all this in the coming sessions. We'll write raml in design center only. Okay, what is the purpose of design center? Design center is used to write raml. And what is the purpose of raml? Raml is used to write the API specification or to design the API specification. Okay, simple. That design phase is over now. In the design phase itself, what happens is we already designed it. We will try to publish it to the exchange. Okay, publish it to the exchange. What is this exchange? Exchange is a repository. Repository means exactly like it is a place where we store all our assets. Assets means like, for example, like you have a locker in the bank account, bank, for example. What do? You keep your documents, you keep your jewelry, you keep your important ornaments, all these things you keep it inside the bank locker, because why? This is the safest place. Okay, the same way we have a place called API exchange. Whatever we design, whatever we develop, we can save that in the API exchange. Okay, this is another platform which is given by Mulesoft only. Okay, design center is one platform. Okay, and API exchange is another platform. We will publish means we will push the raml designed in design center to API exchange, and immediately we will ask the business team to give the feedback. Actually, sir, actually I have designed the raml. You test the raml and give the response. If there are any changes, please tell me. I will implement those changes also. Before going for the implementation, this is the important step we have to take. Okay, fine. Now we will go to the implementation part. See, you have designed the raml. That's fine, basically. But it is only a specification. You told that it has to be this way, input has to be this way, response has to be this way. But you haven't actually implemented the code to actually accept the input and respond as per the response exactly. Okay, that everything implementation will happen in the implementation phase. That is, we will implement the code in Anypoint Studio. This is another tool. This is another tool to implement the code exactly. Code means don't worry, we will be dragging and dropping. We are not going to write any code. It's similar to any other IDE. What is IDE? Integrated development environment, basically, like maybe Eclipse, all these kind of, we will have different development environments, right? It is similar to that only, but there you have to write in-depth code and all. But here you drag and drop the components and just configure the components. Mostly 80 to 90% of the job will be over, and only the 10% of that coding which is required, that has to be taken care at the end part. Now, till now, what are all the things which Mulesoft has provided? Design center for designing the raml, API exchange for storing your assets, exactly, and Anypoint Studio for implementing your code, means writing your code or configuring your code. Whatever language we want to use, we can use, because code means don't worry about that. Okay, it is not a typical coding like Java or .NET or Python or something like that. It will be entirely different exactly. Now, okay, now see here. I came to a concept called secure here. Next step is secure. Okay, why we have to be taken care of this particular step exactly? See, if I told you an example of, card customer, ICICI bank customer is going to HDFC ATM, okay, and he is taking the money, and then it's fine. But some other ex person, or he has some ex card, and that particular bank is not tied up with ICICI banking application. That particular person came to the other ATM, and then he's trying to withdraw the money. Whether ICICI bank has to accept him or not? No, exactly. The reason is, obviously it should not accept the request from a newbie. It should know already. That is the reason where this security comes into picture, because it is a restricted access. It shouldn't be given, the access should not be given to each and everyone exactly. Okay, based on that, we will be having a separate step called secure, basically. Okay, this is also very, very important. Without security, no application will work. Okay, secure is another step which we will do. Who will provide again for doing this exactly? Mulesoft is again providing a module called API Manager. Secure the API with policies in API Manager. There is a module called API Manager. With the help of this API Manager, we apply the policies to secure our API. Okay, fine. Next step. Testing. As soon as you develop something, you test it, but you test in your own way. Developer testing is like, obviously it's not the full-fledged testing. And there is an immediate testing which happens from a QA team. QA team means quality assurance team. Quality assurance team will raise the bugs. Raise the bugs means what exactly? For example, right, you have developed a account balance service. I have to told you, like, account balance service, this particular service API is developed. Actually, they will provide the request and they check whether the proper response is coming or not. In error scenarios, what is the response you are getting? They test rigorously in different scenarios. What happens? All those testings will happen, and the QA team will do that basically, and they raise the, if there is an issue, they raise that as a bug actually. Okay, we should fix that bugs and ask the tester to again retest it, and if everything's working fine or not. Okay, this language is very, very important. Okay, you have to understand that, and you have to speak the same way exactly. Okay, we can use bugs, issues, or some other things also, but you should be familiar with the language. That is the reason I have maintained that exactly. Okay, we should fix the issues and ask again the testing team, okay, we have fixed that issue, please retest it and confirm whether it is working fine properly, working fine now or not exactly. Okay, now this is another step called deploy. Exactly. What is the meaning of deploy? It's very good. You developed your application, you designed your YAML, you developed your application, you have secured your application. I mean, application means API basically. Okay, you tested it. Maybe for testing also, obviously you have to deploy in some environment basically. Okay, for doing that, obviously, what is the module which will be helpful from Mulesoft? Runtime Manager. I'll go into depth, like what is the deploy and all. We have deployment strategies, when to follow which strategy, all those will be discussed further, but broadly I'm explaining. These are the first step. Simply keep in mind, like, first plan, design, next construction, implementation, again quality assurance, test, secure, deploy, monitor. Okay, this way general concept, if you understand this as a general concept, then you can take it to the Mulesoft level basically. Okay, now deploy is used to deploy an application which is developed by us, and in different environments. It is who will be helping us? Runtime Manager will be helping us to do that exactly. Okay, and there are other deployment strategies also. In the coming sessions, whenever we get the deployment strategies and all, we'll discuss that. Next, deployed on production. It is available for users exactly. Now you have to monitor, right? Exactly, like how many requests are coming, how many requests are getting failed, why they are getting failed, how much time it is taking, why is it taking more time. There are certain requests which is taking too much of time, why it is taking, if there is any issue in the code. All those things will be in the monitor phase basically. what tool will be helpful here? We have a tool called API Monitor to do this. Okay, all these are provided. This Design Center, okay, and API Exchange, Anypoint Studio, API Manager, okay, Runtime Manager, API Monitor. All these are provided by Mulesoft itself for different purposes exactly, and it is part of the whole API lifecycle. Why Mulesoft is, I told you one of the points, if you remember in the demo, why Mulesoft is so popular across the world when compared to the other competitors. This is one of the most important feature of Mulesoft, because what is that most important feature? It helps us to manage the whole life cycle of an API. Other competitors, for example, like for monitoring, they may require some other different tool. For some tools, they require for deployment some different tool. For security purposes, they use different tool. But in Mulesoft, everything is provided by Mulesoft itself, and each and every module has a one significance exactly. For implementation, we should use this. For monitoring, we should use this. That way, Mulesoft is so popular across the world, and it is very famous right now. Okay, any doubts till now in this particular API lifecycle? Any doubts? See, why I'll be asking any doubts means exactly I don't want to these are all very fundamentals exactly, and if you understand these fundamentals, okay, if you don't understand, go through the video multiple times also. Okay, if you understand these concepts, it will be very easy in the further sessions. That is the main reason I'm stopping in between and asking if there are any doubts and all exactly. Okay, fine. Any questions? Okay, fine. Thank you. I'll proceed further. See, if you people have, I can tell this session also. It's completed almost 1 hour exactly. I will take another 10 to 15 minutes for explaining this particular concept. If you people have time, with your permission, I want to proceed. If you are okay, another 15-20 minutes of time. Is that okay?
Yeah, we are okay with that. I am okay with.
Okay, you are okay. What about other people actually? If you people have any other engagements, we'll take it to the next session, or I'll take another 15-20 minutes. I'll explain this actually. Okay, fine. I think silence is okay for me to proceed further. Okay, I'll proceed. I'll finish it off because we have to finish this in this session only. Then we'll go into practicals in the next third or fourth session, basically. Okay. Coming to this is one of the most important things which people will miss out. They don't know. Even the people who are working in real time, they don't know what is the actual purpose of each environment, basically. Okay, fine. Now what is this session exactly? Like this session is about, this particular section is about different environments in real time. Exactly. Whenever you are practicing, you use only one environment, and you will never come to know like there will be different environments in the real time, and what is the difference between all these environments also. I just wanted to focus on this point exactly. This is for even for a non-MuleSoft developer also. It is applicable for any software developer, most probably 90% of the time. Maybe here and there will be small changes, but not big changes exactly. But it is very important to know why each and every environment is very specific and why it is very useful exactly. Okay, and there will be sometimes there may be small changes according to the organization, but at a broad level, whatever I am telling you, if you understand this, you will get used to that small changes whenever you switch the organizations, whenever you get a job, or all this can be easily understood exactly. Okay, fine. I'm going to the different environments. Environment, what is the meaning of an environment? Environment means a place or a area where you are facilitated to work, basically, or where you are facilitated means, it means that where your application which is developed to perform or to execute exactly. That is the area we generally call as an environment. In technical terminology, for example, like we call it development environment. What is the development environment? This is the mostly used environment by all the developers exactly. Like we develop our applications in the development environment. Okay, developer will develop the all the applications or APIs related to Mulesoft, or if you, for example, if it is Java application, maybe development on Java application, whatever it may be. Basically, in the development environment, we develop all the applications. Okay, this is the first thing. Second thing, for example, take as an example, there are 3 to 4 different developers actually. Okay, I told you like this account balance service example is there. Okay, maybe like we have Naveen, Avinash, Subbareddy, Venu, all this. The 4 people. There are so many people. Let's take an example. There are 4 people here. 4 people are given some part of each and every this account balance example service API is there, right? Divided into 4 modules, and each module is given to one person. Okay, whenever you test, actually you will test your module only. For example, like Subbareddy has tested his module, Venu has tested his module, and Naveen has tested his module. Okay, maybe Sai or Shrikant has tested his module. Individually, you tested to till some extent. Exactly, because you developed it, you don't see the mistakes in it. You tell that everything is fine and it's working properly. But there is another team who comes into picture, QA team, quality assurance team. They check each and everything, like what is the request, what is the response, and everything exactly. But if you see, account balance service is one API, but it is divided into 4 modules and given to 4 people. Okay, now what we will do, we will integrate that system integration in the SIT environment. What is that SIT environment? System integration testing. All these 4 modules are integrated into one API, one service exactly. That service will be tested by QA team, and that is facilitated in SIT environment. Okay, system integration testing. Okay, that itself, system integration testing. Already I told you the same example, right? If you relate that, obviously you can form the meaning for system integration testing. Okay, now this is the another environment where we have SIT is used exactly. The QA testing team will working on this particular environment. As soon as you develop your application, I told you, right, you have to deploy in your development area, you will test it, and immediately again you have to deploy in the SIT environment the same application, and the testers will be given the access to test it. They will test it. Okay, got it? Next, I'll be going to UAT. What is the meaning of UAT? User acceptance testing. Example, like whenever there is a business team, I told you, right, they will tell, please provide this service for us. Okay, they are the users exactly. Okay, they will come and test that particular application. Okay, if they say okay, then only it will go for the production exactly. Okay, for that there is a separate environment called user acceptance testing. Okay, that is known as UAT environment. UAT environment is used for the testing happening from the users exactly. Okay, a QA team, after QA team says okay, everything is fine, working fine, then we will deploy the same application to UAT, and we invite the users to test our application and give the sign off. Sign off means they say everything is okay. If they have any issues, they will tell there are some issues, please fix these issues, then we'll move it to production exactly. Okay, fine. Next, there is another environment called pre-prod. For example, like I'll tell you, like we have Amazon website. You are using it on your mobile as an Amazon web. This mobile application actually. Like what happens? It means that it is already in live exactly. Live means it is in production. You are the user. You are using it, and you are able to place the orders, and you are receiving the orders. It means that it is a live platform which is already working basically. Before coming into live, these are all the steps which should happen. Without this, any application will not come into the market exactly. Okay. Now, what is the importance of this particular pre-prod? We will do another testing called performance testing. Okay, it is done by QA team. Who will take care of that performance testing? I'll tell you what is the meaning of performance testing, but who will perform that? QA team will perform it. Okay, QA team means quality assurance team. I already explained that. Okay, what is the meaning of performance testing? See, what a tester will do or what a developer will do, he will simply give one request and he will be receiving response. He will tell that it is working fine basically. But in performance testing, they will wantonly send thousands and lakhs of transactions. The same API you have developed with the automation process. One such tool there is which I know is JMeter. JMeter is a performance testing tool which they use, and they send thousands and lakhs of requests to this particular API. When they send, then they will check the performance of this, whether it is responding in the proper time or not, or whether it is able to handle the number of transactions per second or not. All these will be tested and they will give a report. If there are any issues in that particular report, we have to fix them as a developer with the help of the architect. And then again, we should take the sign off from the performance testing team. Once they sign off means I told you already, everything is okay. There is no problem at all. It is according to the standards of our company. It's fine. Please proceed ahead. Now, from UAT to pre-prod also, we have to deploy the application a pre-prod environment, pre-prod. Okay. After pre-prod, already these 4 steps are over. Now you are ready to go for next environment called prod. Okay. What is the meaning of prod? I already told you, like whenever you want to take your application to the live system, obviously, for example, like this account balance service only. For example, I told you like whenever you wanted to go inside your ICICI Bank application, you want to hit balance, this API will be hit. If it is live means now you can use that service. Okay, whenever they move or deploy the application to the production, then only it will be available for the general public or the respective users. That's known as production environment basically. It is live. Okay. Now, there is another environment called disaster recovery. What is the importance of this? What is the meaning of this particular disaster? Means which is unexpected. For example, earthquake is there, unexpected. A big cyclone is there, unexpected. Exactly. See, any system or any development system or the UAT system or SIT system, pre-prod, prod, any system is a server basically. We will be placing that server in one place, physical place. For example, like you think as our applications are kept in one server and that server is in Hyderabad. Okay, Hyderabad was, for example, like take it, Hyderabad was hit by a huge cyclone and there is a power cut for 10 days. Completely. I think it happened in Vizag very recently, around 4 or 5 years back, right? Maybe 2 to 3 days. There was a total damage of the electricity, everything exactly. Similar way, we received some disaster that way exactly. Now, what happens? Your server is not working because of you already have some backup, everything is there, but still the network is down and you are not able to establish the communication and it is not working properly. Now what happens? You will be having customers. For example, like taking an example of ICICI only. ICICI has customers all over the world. The same services are used by the whole world and the services are down now. Means if, for example, like an important application like ICICI mobile application is not working for maybe 2 hours, they may lose crores of business exactly. That is the reason this disaster recovery environment is very, very important. Exactly. It plays a very key role and it is very rarely used, but it plays a very, very important role in terms of the business. And it is a one of the best practices followed by all the organizations. Okay, now what they will do for this? I told you a scenario like Hyderabad is hit by a cyclone, and immediately what these people will do, they will be having another server, same set of replica, means copy of the same, whatever is happening in the production. For example, your balance is now 50,000 and in the DR server it is 40,000. If you check balance and you say like 10,000 is automatically deducted without you are doing nothing, obviously you feel tensed, right? The same way it shouldn't happen actually in the real time. The same way they maintain a disaster recovery server in physically in a different location. For example, like I will take Bombay, Mumbai. Now there is a copy of exact copy of production environment in Bombay also. Immediately what they will do, they will up the services from Bombay. Okay, now what happens, your services may be down for maybe a 5 to 10 minutes, automatically the services are up and they are working from Bombay server. And once everything is okay in Hyderabad location, they will switch back from disaster recovery to the production environment. Okay, see, this is the importance of different environments. Very helpful, and nobody will discuss this. And as soon as you go inside the company, you will feel tense. Please go through this once again and understand about it. Maybe you feel like, what is this performance testing? What is this QA testing? What is this integration testing? What is the acceptance testing? You will be feeling so much of things. If the people have already worked in real time, they will understand the importance of this particular environments basically. And sometimes, exactly, I just wanted to make a note here exactly. Sometimes, for example, in my current project also, we never use this SIT. User acceptance testing as well as system integration testing, we use UAT only. See, that's what I told you. There will be some changes according to the organization at that point of time. If you understand the structure of the whole structure of the environments, whatever we have discussed right now, that you will be easily understanding that small changes. Okay, for example, now only I'll tell you this SIT is an environment, but we never use that. We always use UAT for system integration testing as well as the user acceptance testing also. Okay, that way we have different environments in real time, and this is the significance of each and every environment. All the environments are very important. We should understand the significance of each and every environment. Any doubts till now? And thanks for bearing me for another 15 minutes. Actually, thanks for that. Any questions right now? Then shall we wind up the session?
Yeah, no question.
No questions. Okay. Yeah. Whatever you wanted to confirm or anything, right? Please speak to Baji and finalize as soon as possible. Again, it will be difficult exactly to extend further for attending the classes exactly. And within another 1 to 2 classes, we will be starting the practicals also. Before that, there are certain things we will be discussing the classes, and you have to set up exactly. Okay. Please confirm as soon as possible to Baji. Okay. If anything, any queries, if you want to talk to me, ask the help of Baji, and then you can talk to me also. Or now also you are welcome to ask the questions. Like maybe some people in the session might have missed the demo. Any questions? If you have any questions also, you can ask me here. Or if you're not that comfortable in the group exactly, you may speak to Baji or me personally, and then you can clear off your queries. Okay. Is that fine, Baji?
Yes, ma'am, it's fine. No issue about it.
Okay. Any questions? Technically or any career related or general question?
Look into the chat. Somebody is pinging there, Ramakrishna.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Yes, we'll be providing the recording. Actually, that's not a very specific. Okay. And whenever you see, one more thing I just wanted to inform you to all the people exactly. Whenever you are getting new technologies, don't get panic. I already mentioned this same point earlier also, but I insist the same point. This technology is discussed each and everything from small level to the highest level. Don't worry about anything. Exactly. Okay, I will take care of that. What is your job? If you don't understand, again go through the recording, understand. That's the main thing. And if you have any queries, ask, come to the class, immediately ask the questions, and we will clarify all those queries. If anything new, don't worry. Just go through the recording, you will understand it. And that is the only reason I just always take generic example first and then go to the technical example. Okay, then we'll wind up the session. Yeah, thanks. Thanks everyone. And again, I'm really sorry for missing the session today morning. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your valuable time. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.